I can have a quick glass of water. So, good afternoon, welcome everyone. Welcome to Camp and Furnace, the official venue of the official Euro Club for 2023 here in Liverpool. And it's still so amazing that the United Kingdom is finally hosting Eurovision again. Thank you to Camp and Furnace for hosting these press conferences. Thank you to the EBU for giving us the honour of running these press conferences over the next couple of days. My name's Alistair. I'll be hosting today's conference. Tomorrow will be hosted by my colleague Simon, and my colleague Dean will be hosting on Friday. No specific housekeeping. If there is any fire alarm, there's fire door at the back. Just follow a member of staff and they will direct you. In terms of the format, so we're doing it in batches of 4. So we'll have 4 acts up on stage for kind of half an hour or so. Then there'll be time for some one-to-one interviews. I know people have booked a bit of a break. Then we'll start again at 2 o'clock, the next 4. Same procedure, and then 3 o'clock for the final 4 acts. We have had some submitted questions, so thanks very much to those who have submitted questions. We also have some other questions for the acts as well. If there is time, we may throw to a couple from the floor. So, let's welcome our first 4 acts to the stage. First up, welcome Riley. Representing Romania, Teodor Andrei. Representing Estonia, here is Alika. And finally, representing Slovenia, please welcome Joker Out. So, welcome everyone. Thanks very much for coming to our first press conference. It's great to see you here in Liverpool. So I'll have a couple of opening questions for each of you, and then we'll kind of go around and have some questions. We've got some follow-ups from the audience as well. There's water on your seat if you need it as well. So, Riley, welcome to Liverpool. How's your experience been so far? How was the first rehearsal?
Thank you so much. It's been, amazing. I've never been to Liverpool. I've been to sort of every city and town around Liverpool, but never Liverpool. So I'm excited to be here. It's been really great. And the rehearsal has been really great too. I always say I feel like first rehearsals are a bit messy in the beginning. There's a lot of little things to fix and little pointers where to walk and where to look and stuff. But really good, really positive, excited about the second rehearsal, which will be tomorrow.
Now, you're, if I remember correctly, first on the running order for the second semi-final. Does that give extra pressure, or does it mean you can do your performance and then you can relax?
Maybe a bit of both. I think there's pressure, obviously, because I'm the first one. I feel like I have a responsibility to open the show in the right way, and I think my song can do that. And then, yes, I'll be able to lean back and just enjoy everybody else.
And what's it like when you walk onto the stage for the first time, when you've seen pictures of what the stage is going to look like, you'll have done all the rehearsals at home, but then when you finally get to Liverpool and onto that stage, just talk us through what that experience is like.
I think it's a relief, first and foremost, because everything is so hypothetical. Like, we've seen pictures of the stage, and you sort of try to imagine what it will be like, and we've done rehearsals in sort of big rehearsal spaces, but it isn't the stage and it isn't dark, and you walk on stage and see these like lights on the floor and the lights, like these spotlights. It's all a bit confusing, but I think it is a relief because finally you're able to, finally you know what you're gonna do. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost, yeah, it is a relief, like a big sigh of relief to finally be like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. I know what to expect. So there isn't that unknown is sort of taken away.
And what can people expect from your performance, without giving too much away?
I think they can expect sparkle and colors and a lot of fun.
We look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, to Teodor from Romania, welcome. And same opening question to you. How has your experience been in Liverpool so far since you've been here in your first rehearsal?
Oh, wow. Okay, so ever since I arrived, I just got in my Beatles mood, and I have listened to like 20 Beatles songs on the way to the stage for the first rehearsal, and everything turned out so well. I mean, by the first time I stepped on stage, I felt some emotions I haven't felt in like 7 years back when I was in the Voice of Romania, because the stages are kind of similar ground wise, you know, and so seeing all of those empty seats, it was a strange feeling, but I just had a lot of fun, and I thought that maybe when I was in the Voice, I was extremely shy, and I was literally in before my whole bullying period in my life that really changed me a lot. And so I took this first rehearsal as a rematch, me to myself, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I approached it with a lot more courage than I did 7 years ago in The Voice. And so being able to sing this song of mine, which really means a lot to me, and it talks about a personal experience, because I wrote the song and the lyrics. It really put me through a nice situation, and I really felt those feelings once again. It was it was really electrifying in a way.
And you mentioned, of course, you were on The Voice Romania a few years ago. What did you learn from that experience that you could bring to your Eurovision performance?
I learned that the feelings you have in that exact moment when you're on stage are just amazing, and you cannot make similarities with anything else. They are just unique, because I mean, you can rehearse like thousands of times, but that moment when you step on stage and it's the live show, it's gonna be different anyways, you know, because I mean, I just don't think that music is a product, literally. I think that a great song can be a party anthem to a happy person, and a shoulder to cry on for a broken person, you know. And I think that music connects people, as Eurovision said some years ago. And I think that people understand music in the exact same amount that music understands them, if that makes sense, you know. And I just think it's just the feeling. And I think music is about feeling. It's about hearts.
Absolutely, and you've touched on the fact, you know, you wrote the song. Talk us through what the song means to you and kind of the inspiration behind it.
Okay, so the song DGT Off and On. Well, first of all, I'm gonna spoil out the mystery. So the song is called DGT, which is Dejete in Romanian, which is fingers, and that's why I'm having the huge hand, which is my best friend for now. Yeah, so you can. my friend says hello to you. Hello. Okay, we did this, and so the song itself, DGT Off and On, talks about a war in love. And this whole battle in between logical decisions and emotional feelings in a relationship, and a tough love with a necessary evil to which you come back to no matter how much it damages you long term. And so the song itself talks about a really serious subject, and a part of this generic subject of love, which not many people talk about really in music. This thing that really damages you. It's something that more than a breakup. It's really damaging long term. And this whole serious subject is surrounded by the sexy atmosphere of the track, and this whole fusion of the instrumental, which brings together elements of rock and roll, blues, pop, hip hop, and R&B elements. And I think it kind of builds a new age Eurovision cocktail, if you may say so. And I think this is a really cool thing, and I really enjoy it. Many people told me that I'm gonna sing this song like 4,000 times, and I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna be sick of it, but I still like the song a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And the thing. The nice thing about it is that, I don't know if you saw this, but in the national final in Romania, I wrote "Make Love Not War" on my chest. Yeah, that's the thing many people talked about. It was kind of controversial in a way, but I stand by that thing. It's kind of my statement for now, because first of all, the song itself is about a war in love. Okay, then I think that "Make Love Not War" is the best thing to say or hear these days, considering this whole situation that we got going on in the world. It's just something that I'm a pretend I don't see. I'm a pretend I'm ignorant. This is just a real thing, and people should really be consent about it. You know. The third reason I chose that is because of the bullying period I talked to you about, and that what isn't just guns. I think that what is everything in between each other. I think every time we say some bad words or we curse each other, that's a type of word too. And I think that bullying is a real problem that we should get rid of. And I think that maybe I just don't want to be a number in the list of participating countries. I want to make this as my whole statement and maybe change something if I can. I have this small amount of power, but if maybe I can change some things that, be the change that you want to see in the world. That's the thing that Michael Jackson said. So this is amazing. Yeah. And I was wondering, sorry if I talk too much, but I was wondering when I was on plane, I was wondering that wouldn't it be cool if all of us in this year's Eurovision would sing sort of a "We Are the World" thing, and it would be like USA for Africa, just as Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie did in the 70s or something. That would be cool.
I would love to see that. Get a big kind of ensemble of all the performers kind of in the studio with the kind of big headphones recording.
Yeah, because you already have here, if you could go back to the start, but we're still falling apart, and I'm scared to love you, but I'm scared of breaking my heart. You have, you have much rock of it, I'm a credere, a me dasha frumos, my pedos. You have, there is always time to get back on track, tearing down the walls slowly every step. Now I see myself building up a world of bridges. And the hardest one language-wise for me, it goes like this. Mi pomożemy plesali, ljubili se i grali. Kod nas jutri več ne bo. Thank you so much. So this is what I think Eurovision is all about, because it's more than a competition. It's sort of a music holiday and an anniversary of musical cultures, and that's what I love about it. And I'm really flattered and honored and grateful to be surrounded with all of you, because I really appreciate all of you guys. It's amazing. I'm really humble this now, but I really love you, and I love you all watching us here and online. It's amazing. It's wow.
And we're so happy for you to be there. Thank you so much, Theodore.
Thank you.
So with your musical interlude there, singing of the bridges, that brings us nicely to Alika, representing Estonia this year in Liverpool. So again, same question to you. How has your Liverpool experience been so far?
Thank you so much for having me. Actually, Liverpool is really beautiful. I really like it at this point. And I've been here for like 3 days and had a rehearsal yesterday. Today I'm here. So I'm not having a lot of time to just walk around the city. But yesterday I had some time and I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people realize just how much pressure you guys are under. It's a constantly hard work with rehearsals, press conferences, preparing interviews, preparing the next day's activities. How do you kind of cope with that level of pressure?
Actually, I thought that it will be more scary and frustrating, but the truth is that I actually enjoy it, and it's not too much of it for me. I don't know how for the others, but with the rehearsal, it was a lot of stress for me because I'm not this type of person who stresses out. I'm always like really calm in this type of situations. But yesterday, I think I never seen the visuals of mine, so I didn't know what to expect. And when I started to sing first time, then I had stopped. I forgot my things that I had to do on stage and just watch the visuals like that with the open mouth. So it seems I liked it. And what I had to say, I don't know. Yeah, I enjoy it. The rehearsals are great. The visuals are great. The stage is great. The team is actually really great in here. At this moment, we met them. Not all of them, I think. There are a lot of them. So we met part of them. And they were really professional, really great. And they are dealing with all the problems you have. So this is a big relief for all of us, I think.
Definitely. Now, you've been in a number of TV shows as well in Estonia. You won Estonian Idol. You've been in The Baltic Voice. How do those kind of shows compare, though, to the Eurovision Song Contest?
I always knew that Eurovision Song Contest is not similar with all those competitions which I had in my childhood, or for example Estonian Idol also, because Eurovision is, I don't know, it's about friendship and music and being all together in here, because I were on 5 pre-parties with all of them actually, and it was really fun, and we were all really supportive to each other, and yeah, and you can say that about, for example, some competition with only vocalists, because there is like real competition and you need to prove yourself and all of that. But here I think you need to prove yourself, that you are capable of, not the others. The others also, but firstly, I think yourself. It's really important. So so yeah, I really enjoy the company and enjoying all the production, and just amazing. Yoo-hoo!
Excellent. And I was going to ask about the pre-parties, because they're such a key part of Eurovision season now. But how important are they to you as artists for kind of both performing your song, but also getting to know the other members of the Eurovision community that year?
Yeah, the pre-parties were really, really great, and a lot of memories from there. But also, yeah, of course, tiring, but yeah, I think that the goal of the pre-parties for me was to open my heart, open myself to the people who are listening to my song at this particular moment, and because I think that this song has this simpleness, but at the same time powerfulness. So it's really important that people were at the same moment in the building to listen to it live. So yeah, and also I think the really good plus of those pre-parties is that we are all already friends now, so we are not awkwardly sitting here and like, who are you? Sorry. So so we know each other, we laugh with each other, having a great talk. So I think this is also a really important thing, because we have a lot of people around us right now on the Eurovision stage and also in the semifinals. But with those pre-parties, now we know each other, and we're just gonna have fun.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alika.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of having fun, from Slovenia, we have a band, Joker Out, and you look like you've been having a lot of fun over the last few weeks. I've seen a lot of your social media, seen you at the pre-parties. Just talk us through how the last few months have been for you since you were announced as Slovenia's representatives.
Well, thank you very much for having us. Just like Alika said, it's been really an incredible experience these last 2 months. We've been internally kind of saying that the whole pre-party experience was really more of a traveling circus, let's say, or like a school trip, because of all of the delegations, all of the artists. We really got to be good friends with all of them, and just like Alika said, we can imagine how it would be to come to Eurovision and to meet everybody for the first time. It's a much more comfortable experience right now, that we don't have to look at each other as competitors, but more as musical colleagues. So we're very happy for that.
Great. Now, I know you get this question a lot, but I do find it fascinating. One of the things I love about your song is that it is sung in Slovenian. Was that a conscious decision? Why did you decide to send a song in Slovenian? I think it's part of a trend. We've seen more and more songs recently not necessarily being in English. And just talk us through that.
I think as we're all big fans of Eurovision, we've always loved the magic and the colors that languages add to it. Hearing people sing in their own language is always a bit different than when they sing in not their native tongue. I think you are probably most honest in the language you think in. And it's also very fun not to know what the song is about, in the exact same moment. You kind of have to turn on your other senses and think, what is the voice giving me? What is the mimic giving me? What is the movement giving me? What is this song about? So we think that we are representing our country. We are representing our fans. We've gained success that we gained in Slovenia with singing in Slovenian. So we thought it was only right to represent ourselves in our most original and honest way.
And we've got to know you well over the pre-party circuit, but for those people that may not know you, just tell us the Joker Out story, how you got together, and how you ended up on the Eurovision stage.
Okay, so I guess to start, it would be best to explain our names.
Yeah, my name is Bojan.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jure.
I'm Nace.
And I'm Jan.
You guys got your own mic. I didn't even see. Okay, well, our story really started in 2016. Prior to that, me and Jan had a band, and Bojan had his own band. But Bojan wasn't quite satisfied with his guitarist, and then he came to one of our gigs, and he was really impressed by Jan's and my guitar playing, and he was like, okay, let's throw those guys out, let's create another band, and that's how Joker Out formed. It was all really quick and sudden. Also, how we picked our name was really quick and sudden, so that's why it's such a stupid, nonsensical name. And I guess we just went with the flow, and that kind of marked how we've been doing stuff from the beginning.
Now, of course, you're a fantastic live band, and we look forward to seeing you perform live on the stage at Euroclub next week. But I also love the music video for your song as well. Where did the idea for that come from?
Well, like most ideas, this one as well was born in our rehearsal space. Just like the song Carpe Diem. We were just sitting on the couch with our music video director, and like we had a song with Mr. Elvis Costello, and we were thinking about how we could incorporate him into the music video, because we weren't.
Yeah, I think they're talking about.
Which video are you talking about?
Oh, sorry.
Your Eurovision
sorry,
song.
it's my
Carpe
bad.
Diem.
We just had an interview with Mr. Elvis
You've stolen
Costello
my
about
next
the
question.
song. So yeah, actually it was the same story. We were also on the couch in our rehearsal space with our music video producer Mark, who is somewhere here, and we had this idea about this magical hotel where like each guest that comes into the hotel gets the key to its like perfect party. Like every guest has his room where the perfect party for him is held. So like we go through this hotel and see all these kind of different people with different tastes, and eventually we come to our perfect party, which like the vibe of the party, which we are also trying to live on this Eurovision journey.
This was a well-prepared plug for our song with Elvis Costello, actually.
Yeah, Mike is saying my next
Would you
question.
like to know some more about our song with Mr. Elvis
Seamlessly moving
Costello?
on to Elvis Costello. But how did that come about, that collaboration?
In 2019, we released a song Gola that became, let's say, a hit in Slovenia. And the godfather of our previous bass player, who we didn't kick out, he went out of the band himself, just so you know, we're not terrible people. The godfather of the bass player lives in Liverpool, and he's a friend of Elvis's, and he showed him the song, and Elvis liked it a lot. And the thing is, our shagadelic rock and roll was taken from Austin Powers, and Elvis is in the Austin Powers movie. So that was like the red line connecting all of it. And when we released our second album in September, Elvis listened to it, and the song Novi Val, which translates into New Wave, really got stuck in his head. And he offered to us that he could write the English lyrics for the song. And of course we said yes. And I think a week later, we got a call that he would also be up for doing a collaboration as in a duet, and it was an offer we could not refuse. So yeah, now we have a song with Elvis Costello, which is pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So thanks very much. Thank you again to Joker Out.
Thank you.
So we have a few questions that have been submitted by members of the fan media that have been here with us today. So we'll go back down the order that we started. So a question for you, Riley, from Alistair Birch from Eurofile Australia. Now, you obviously became well known performing music online in front of a camera on TikTok. How difficult has it been to transition from performing online, doing music videos, to performing in front of thousands of people?
I don't know. I don't think it's been difficult. It's been different. But I think so far, I think honestly, we just talked about the pre-party performances that we've done, and those were definitely very important, I think, for me to be able to perform Breaking My Heart in front of a live crowd. So I feel a lot more confident in that regard to now go on the Eurovision stage. But also all these, like the Danish national finals and the obviously Eurovision, it's all filmed and recorded. So although there is a live crowd as well, I almost feel at home because I'm so used to being in front of a camera and sort of filming myself and doing it. But there's obviously the addition of the live crowd. I don't know. I just think it's very natural. Once you walk on stage, you have so many nerves, but then the song starts and you're just totally engrossed in the moment, and it just feels like that's where you belong.
Excellent. Another question for you from Melanie from ESC United. So you didn't wear your final Eurovision stage outfit during your first rehearsal. So can you maybe tell us more about your actual stage outfit, who made it, the inspiration behind it?
Yes. So it wasn't made in time for the first rehearsal. I think we'll have it for the second rehearsal, which mine will be tomorrow. And what can I say? I think I can say that it'll be super sparkly. So that's why I wore that top. We did that top initially for the red carpet, which we'll have. And I think I'm still wearing that for the red carpet, but we wore that because it also has all those gems and the sparkle. Yeah. So the outfit that I'm wearing for the performance will be similar, although it's more of like a jacket and trouser vibe. And we worked with this amazing company in London called Bang, and they customize all these different costumes they've worked with everybody. So I'm excited.
So are we. Thank you. Theodore, another question related to clothing. This one actually related to your socks from ESC United. I'm going to read this out as it was sent in. As a big Pokemon fan, I really love the fact that you're wearing Pikachu socks on the Eurovision stage. Please tell us more how that decision was made to do this, and is Pikachu actually your favorite Pokemon?
Okay, so first of all, yeah, Pikachu, it is my favorite Pokemon. Okay, so we've checked that out. But so we had this idea, me and my stylist, Rodika Puka, which made all of my outfits. Well, we had a brainstorm together and we built them up. We thought about wearing a short pant yellow suit, like super bright and neon yellow suit, sort of Pikachu if it was an AC/DC thing, you know? It's like, where the hell? And it was like this Angus Young inspired thing in which I had these short pants, but it was all yellow. And we thought about that just because it was yellow, so there's no actual reason literally behind it. But if you can check the code of colors, it may mean something with the flowers meaning. With yellow flowers have a special meaning attached to the song. But I think that magic lies in mystery when it comes to this. But having this yellow suit, I just thought that maybe I should add something that's yellow too. And I only had these yellow Pikachu socks, and I thought that, wait, this is even cooler if it has the Pikachu on them, because it's like, look, this is Eurovision and I have a Pikachu in Eurovision. Take this. It was like, Pikachu is on stage in Eurovision. This should be Billboard thing. And maybe some things will change. I don't know if it'll stay with Pikachu. Maybe we'll have another character, because I got so many colorful socks, so I can change them every time we go on stage. Because I think that this is my new signature thing, that and the hand. And maybe tomorrow we'll have something different. I don't know yet to tell you. But if there'll be photos or videos for social media, you will see the new character I'm wearing on my socks. Yeah.
I'm seeing a TikTok coming together of all your socks across the week.
Yes.
That needs to be done. So, Alika, a question for you from Melanie. Again, another clothing-related question. I think Melanie is our fashion expert from the press today. So she has asked, I really loved your Eurovision outfits with the very long train. And I read that it was made by Estonian designer Sille Randveer. I hope I pronounced that sort of correctly.
Yes.
Can you please tell us more about how that collaboration came together and how the process went of creating that outfit?
Oh, thank you so much. Fashion question. I love it. Yeah, actually, Sille Randveer is a really great designer in Estonia. She was also living in Denmark for 5 years, studying fashion, and then she moved back to Estonia, and we had a music video going on, and yeah, I just have written her. She answered me. And from this point, we understood that actually we are really built it for each other, and we are really good friends now. And also, yeah, I'm wearing her pants right now, like her designed pants. And the costume on the Eurovision stage is fully designed by her. And the thing about this costume is that it's not a dress. It's not a one-piece, it's two-piece costume, but it's really great that people not understanding quite much that this is a dress or this is a pants or what is it. So this is the most important part of this costume, and also the color and a little bit of feminine, and also I don't know, man energy on the English. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, just, yeah, I really wanted to say that the costume is built on the man and female energy, and we put it together. So something like that. Thank you.
No, thank you. That makes sense. Thank you. And to joke around, this is not a clothing question, although there might be one more clothing question for you. So, don't relax too much. So a question from Sho-chan. She's got a question about one of the specific lyrics in your song. And she asks, please could you enlighten me on the part where you say, and this is the English translation, you must only have to work for 810,000 years. Is there a reason why you chose that particular number of years, or was it because it fitted within the lyrics of the song?
Thank you for the question. It is the 810,000 years is just a random number, but it is also an absurd number. So the only point was to take an extremely high number of years that we're obviously not going to live for. Well, maybe if we live long enough, they're gonna find some cure. I don't think we're gonna want to take it anyway. So yeah, no, it is just a random absurd number to show that we're really somehow locked in an invisible cage in which there is like a little hamster wheel, and we're just gonna keep on running until we run out of power and fall down and the wheel stops spinning.
Yeah, that describes the Eurovision week very well, I think.
Yeah.
And a final question from our in-house fashion expert, Melanie from ESC United, for you. You're not getting away. So, in a recent interview, your Eurovision stage outfit designer, Ponorelli, explained that, and I quote, Each member of the band will have their own animal, plant, and precious stone, which will be worked into their individual outfit and have colours assigned to them according to their energy and personality. So we want to know, what is your outfit actually telling us about your individual personalities?
So the whole concept, his concept behind the outfits is like the Garden of Eden somehow. And we all wear, animals or some symbols on us, or flora and fauna. I'm wearing a snake and a butterfly, and I will not say for the others, but the important thing here is that pattern you see on each and every one of us is an Adrian lace. It's a very specific and culturally important type of lacing in Slovenia, made by a small group of women experts, and it is cultural heritage protected by UNESCO, I think. So we're very proud to be wearing that. These women really took a lot of their time, personal time also, because we, of course, as everything else, decided very last minute that we would like to incorporate that into our uniforms. So yeah, it is. We are wearing something special, and it will also be, our outfits will be on display in Idria, the place where the Adrian lace is born after Eurovision.
I would just like to add.
One more question. I really need to go to the toilet. Can I be?
You may.
Just one quick thing to add. I think all of our outfits are quite, let's say, colorful, and it really just represents our, let's say, mixture of personalities within the band. Where if you get to know us maybe through our series or through our music, we are quite different people, but somehow we cohesively work together. And I think the outfits are analogous, and I think that's what Pon really captured really well.
Perfect, thank you. So we've got just a couple of minutes left. If there were any questions that anyone wanted to ask from the floor that haven't been asked already, I know most of you have submitted questions, but if there were any, we do have a minute or so to do so. Yeah, I think that's Alistair. Should be a microphone coming to you.
Hi, I have a question from the live stream from Ruth, watching, I think, in Perth in Western Australia. It's for Alika, and I hope you understand the question, because I don't. Can you explain the context of the bridges in your song?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. The context of the bridges, is not physical. When I was writing the lyrics of the song, I just thought about bridges as a metaphor for the relationships with each other and also with yourself, which is, I think, the most important part, to be frank with yourself. And when we are lying to ourselves and being lost somewhere in our minds, then I think the bridges start to ruin themselves. So this is the imagination that I had at this point, and I had it till this time. So bridges for me, bridges are built from one and the second side, and then they come together. And if you are not feeling comfortable with yourself, then they are starting to ruin themselves. So that's because this song is called Bridges, and this is the meaning of the bridges. Thank you.
Thank you. Time for one more question, if there are any. Yeah, we've got one at the front here.
This is a quick question for everyone here. Of course, the Eurovision period is very hectic, but what is the thing you do when you get back to the hotel room to chill out, to zen? Or what are you watching? What are you eating? What is the one thing that gets you ready to go to bed and be very relaxed at night?
Be careful.
For example, I started to watch Friends second time in a row. So I already watched it one time, 10 seasons. But now I started also again, and I really enjoy it, because then I can just chill out and not to think too much, because if you are watching some deep movie, for example, I really love deep movies and some criminal TV shows or something, then yeah, of course, with all of this chaos which is going on here, it's not a best option. But friends are just, I think, they're so good. So yeah, this is my type of relief in the hotel.
Bless you. When I go back to my room in the hotel, the first thing I do, well, unfortunately, I go back to editing some of the new videos I'm preparing, because before the semifinal on the 11th of May, in which I encourage you to vote with your hearts, I have some cool videos which I'm gonna put out. I don't know if you saw this, but that's a really cool thing that I did, and I'm really proud of, and I think that many people liked it. I made a series of medleys in which I'm singing all of the songs in this year's Eurovision. Yeah, so all 37. These videos, these series are split in 3 parts. So we have the part 1, and each part has 12 songs, and so I sang all of your songs. But so thank you so much. Yeah, well, that's a thing that I did because I just thought it was a cool idea in some way, and I thought that maybe it would help us get together a little more, and maybe help the people watching us on TV and on the internet and stuff like that. Maybe see us not as competitors, but as a whole group and a family, if you might say so. And yeah, that's the thing I see is cool about it. And so I have 2 or 3 more videos that I'm gonna put out really quickly, and I hope you'll like them as well. Thank you.
And do you want to answer the same question?
Just quickly.
Yeah.
I think the reality is that really isn't much time for downtime during these few weeks, which is fine because it's such an honor to be a part of this. But I think when I do have time for any sort of relaxation, I think it's just watching some random stuff like Netflix or like YouTube videos and stuff like that, just to really get your mind off of the stress.
When we get back to the hotel after a long day, it might seem contradictory, but we actually like to stay together and let's just, we sit around the table, talk about our performance, talk about what we're doing the next few days, just kind of chilling down, gathering our collective energy. It's not like everybody goes directly to their hotel room and I don't want to see your face again until tomorrow, until I absolutely have to. So we actually, we come home from all of our activities as, let's say, a band, and when we sit down as friends and just enjoy the evening.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, all of you, once again. Thank you to Riley, to Theodor Andre, to Alika, and to Joker Out, and thank you to all of you. We'll be back in about 20 minutes for the next panel. There's time now for one-on-one interviews that I know have already been booked. But thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of your time here in Liverpool.
Thank you.
Just to let people know, the bars are open if you want to get some light refreshments. There's also food available from the bar in the entranceway. And
representing Cyprus, please welcome Andrew Lambrou. Hi. And finally, representing Iceland, please welcome Diljá. Oh, you've all got a microphone, so you'll be fine. You can. Why not? We're all a family. We're all a Euro family, of course.
Cozy.
So welcome to Camp and Furnace, welcome to Euro Club, and welcome to Liverpool.
Thank you.
Great to see you here. So go around with a couple of questions in turn, then we might have a couple of questions from the floor as well, and we'll let this run for about 25, 30 minutes, and there'll be time for one-to-one interviews for those that want to do so. So first of all, Gustav, welcome. How are you? How's your experience been so far in Liverpool?
It's been lovely. Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit of a whirlwind because I guess we all have to do a lot of promo and rehearsal and all that kind of stuff. But it's a beautiful city, very warm people, and I also can't wait to have a day off and enjoy the nightlife of Liverpool. So I'm very excited about that.
Or maybe you can come and perform at Euro Club one night.
That's a night out as well.
Definitely. Have you been to Liverpool before?
We had a little promo week in March, so I got to get a taste for the city, and I think it's a very beautiful city, and I was quite surprised how beautiful the architecture is. It's really a beautiful mix of the old and the new, and it's a very vibrant, lively city. Yeah, I like it a lot.
And you've done your first rehearsal now. How did that go?
Nice. It was very nice. It's a very impressive stage. It was really impressive when I arrived on the stage. It's gorgeous. And then we had our run through 3 times, and I think by the second and third time I really felt we got this. We're gonna get there. Little tweaks here and there, but it felt like a very good first run of the show for me.
Perfect. Now, I was actually in the audience in Brussels back in January when you won the national final.
Yes.
It seems ages ago. It was still winter. But what I do remember from your kind of live performance there is how much the audience just reacted to it. It felt like you kind of caught a bit of a mood, caught a bit of an emotion from the audience. How important is that connection?
Well, that's one of the most beautiful things about performing in Eurovision. It's already a beautiful community of people who are so supportive. And I felt that night, I've been performing for over 20 years and was quite nervous before I hit the stage. But once I arrived on the stage and you see the crowd of people, I was like, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know this. And that being said, it was still quite overwhelming to see the response of the crowd in that stage that night. I have to say that will be one of my most cherished memories for life.
And you talk about kind of, that sort of slight feeling of nervousness. And we were talking to Riley in the first press conference about that. How do you, talk us through that feeling when you step out onto the stage for the first time, especially here in Liverpool, you're seeing the stage for the first time. Talk us through that.
Oh, that's really a hard one to actually describe. But I think by being a performer for so long, it does become a bit of a home. So, it does become a place where you kind of know how to deal with the stress and how to deal with everything. And I think it's important as performers to find the joy in performing first and foremost, because it's not, I can't grasp the millions of people who are watching at home. So I want to turn that off and be able to focus on the performance. And it does help to have a crowd in front of you that is so supportive. And I think that's how the best way to look at it is to look at it from the performance and to look at it from the message of the song and what you want to portray onto the audience, because that will translate in the television screen as well.
Great, thank you. Well, we wish you all the very best. We'll have more questions later, I'm sure. Andrew, welcome again. First question to you. How's your Liverpool experience been so far?
It's fantastic. It's exceeded all my expectations. It's a beautiful city, and it is my first time in Liverpool. I've been to London, but I see the contrast, and I get that. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. And I don't mean to be cliche, but, the buildings really do just take me to a special place. It's like, I love it. And it's just exciting, everything that's happening. I don't even know what day it is, but I'm loving it.
No, don't worry. We're the same. By the end of Eurovision week, no one has any idea what day of the week it is. It all kind of merges into one. And obviously, it's a few months now since you were announced as Cyprus's representative for Eurovision. Just talk us through what you've been up to in that period.
Well, I've been up to plenty, actually. I've traveled to many places. I've been to Sweden, Greece, Cyprus, of course, Australia, and I've been preparing. I've been preparing and practicing as much as I possibly can, and just trying to get into the zone. And it feels kind of crazy that we're at the pointy end now and it's almost about to happen. It feels like it's been so long, but also so short, at the same time. It's just crazy, but I'm going to be looking forward to a very nice little rest after, but I'm soaking it all up at the moment.
And what can people expect from your performance on stage?
Fuego. Fire.
We love a bit of fuego. We love a bit of fire.
Good pun.
And obviously, we've got the fan media here and the hardcore Eurovision fans. You've got to kind of know and love all your songs over the last few months. But Andrew, just talk us through your song, just what it means to you, kind of, what kind of emotion you're going to try and get across when you're performing it on stage.
Yeah, so when it comes to connecting to a song, that's something that's extremely important to me. And for this song, it's about rising up from difficult times in your life. And the lyrics relate to relationships, but I want people at home to relate that to anything that means something to them. And when it comes to performing, I really want the audience at home and the audience in the arena to connect to what I'm saying in the lyrics and to feel it from here. That's the most important thing for me. And just making it authentic. So this song connects to me personally. I find myself going to a place that I can't explain when singing the song, but it's something that I'm really grateful for. And I'm just so excited to get up on that stage, I can tell you that much.
And we look forward to seeing you on stage. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Diljá, welcome from Iceland. Again, how's your Liverpool experience been? First rehearsals, how's that all going?
So great. Time is flying. Each day has been like going so fast and a very photogenic city.
Yeah.
First rehearsal, amazing. Loved it. Great crew. I'm over the moon.
And I don't think people realize, you talk about the great crew, just how many people it takes to make a Eurovision happen. All the people kind of working backstage, but then all the people that you'll be getting supporting you in your delegation.
Yeah.
How important is that to you? I guess it must take the pressure off a bit.
It's very important just to have like the Icelandic crew, like we all know each other very well, and so it's a tight, good group. Good to have someone to like have your back, and like times can be stressful, so thankful for having them.
And your song has got some pretty inspirational lyrics. Talk us through how that came about and some of the meaning behind the song.
Sorry?
Talk us through the lyrics and the meaning behind the song.
The lyrics is about it's the realization that you hold the power of your life, like you are behind the wheel and like nothing or no one else. In my case, it's like not about a certain person, but like everyone can like interpret.
Interpret. You're fine. Interpret.
As they want. For me personally, it's more about like the old version of myself who was like very anxious, has had bad like anxiety and OCD. So,
Now you got the power.
Pow.
Voila.
Yeah, I took the power from my shadows.
And what can we expect from your performance?
A lot of energy. I'm gonna give it my absolute all. I will be moving a lot around the stage and a lot of power. Sorry.
A lot of power.
That's perfect. A lot of power.
Yeah.
Now, according to the official Eurovision website, you are a self-described Eurovision nerd. So tell us about your favorite Eurovision moment.
My favorite Eurovision moment.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Put you on the spot there.
I'm gonna say, can I say a moment that's not in like official Eurovision but in like national?
Of course.
Okay, then it's Statement, Lorin, in Melodifestivalen.
Oh wow. That was a great performance.
Yeah, best performance I've seen in my entire life.
Maybe you should do a duet with her on Statements this year.
Yeah, how would that? Good idea.
Manifestation. It's manifested
absolutely.
now.
Yes, yeah. No, I'm her biggest fan.
And Iceland have had so many good songs over the years, still without a Eurovision victory. I mean, and it's a matter of time, when Iceland do win Eurovision, that's going to be an incredible moment for the country, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be great if that would be 2023. That would be a great moment.
You never know. This is Eurovision. Right. Well, thank you, and wish you all the best here in Liverpool. Going back to you, Gustav, you're of course no stranger to Eurovision. You've been backing vocalist for Superphonic and for Senek
That's correct.
as well. What's it been like, though, taking that step from the backing vocalist to the front man?
Well, it's of course a different experience, but I think without those two other experiences, I would have never been here, because even though I was a fan myself, I think doing the whole production of a festival from the inside out really makes you get some insight into the festival. Plus, there's so much love in the community and the audience in this whole experience. I think that really was one of the reasons why I was like, I think I want to do this myself. I think I can do this myself. I think it would have never happened without that. And it's just wonderful because I get to delegate a vision onto people I trust in my team. And it's wonderful to have that experience. And I'm also very proud that my country is supportive and representing, to me, an important message about togetherness and also about the queer perspective. So I really am proud that I'm representing a very beautiful idea that comes from my country, Belgium.
Excellent. And you mentioned the word community there. So many Eurovision artists talk about that sense of community, almost the Eurovision bubble.
Yes.
How important is that for you as artists?
I think there's honestly nothing like that, because I'm a bit older, 42 years old. Oh, yes, darling. I'm very proud of it. But I have never experienced this kind of thing ever before, especially as a performer, because even the Eurovision parties, that overwhelming sense of love that just jumps over you when you hit the stage is something I've never experienced before, and they're all just there supporting you. And when I did the shows with Eurofonic and Scenic, for example, it doesn't matter what the ranking is, it doesn't matter what position you start or end, everyone is in that audience supporting you, singing along to your song. If there's a movement, they will do the movement with you, and I find that absolutely magical. I think that's why a lot of artists, including myself, just want to do it over and over again. I'm like, just hire me again next year. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, and it's almost addictive. And
yes.
And 42.
It's like crack. No, okay.
And 42 is a good age, and I say that because I turned 42 this month.
Oh, but you look nothing like 42, darling.
Now, Andrew, of course, many of us got to know you last year through the Australian national final. So just talk us through how that journey went from being in the Australian national final to now representing Cyprus this year.
Beats me. No, I'm joking. It's for me, it was the most craziest thing in the world. Like, you never know what life's going to throw at you, do you? And I kind of entered the Eurovision world last year, and I was just really happy to be there. And I've watched Eurovision since I was about 7 years old. So it's been a big part of my family and my life. And my grandmother, my Diljá, she would say to me, Andrea, Mo, one day you're going to be on the Eurovision stage. And I would say, yeah, no worries. No. But now it's happening. So it's crazy. And it's the most amazing experience to be here. I'm so grateful. And I've felt so much love from around the world and in Cyprus and Australia and Greece and just everywhere. And it's just absolutely fantastic. So the journey was just, I truly do believe sometimes that things happen for a reason, and some things are meant to be. And to me, sitting here right now, and it feels like maybe I was just meant to be on the Eurovision stage one day, yeah.
And they'll be on stage later, but reunited with Voyager again.
Yes.
It's the great reunion.
It's like I bonded with them so much last year, and they're absolutely amazing people. And I can't wait to probably catch up with them. Like, I'm going to give them all a big hug. And it's just, that's another thing that just freaks me out, you know? Like, we were there last year, and now we're both here. It's just, that's got to be fate. I don't know, but yeah.
And back to you, Diljá. What's next? What comes after Eurovision for you, or are you not thinking beyond the 13th of May at this stage?
I will just keep on like working with other people in the music business, and just keep on making music, keep on doing CrossFit, keep on, just carry on doing what I have been doing for the last months, because I love this.
And are there any other artists that you'd like to collaborate with, for example, in the future?
Sorry.
Any other artists that you'd like to do a collaboration with in the future? Any other singers that you'd like to work with?
That would be amazing to do like a song with someone in Eurovision.
I'm down. I'll come to Reykjavik, it's good. I'll come to Reykjavik. I love Reykjavik, I'll come.
We're going to Iceland.
But sometimes that does happen. These collaborations kind of just start quite organically, kind of at a rehearsal party or backstage, and then you've got something. So you never know what might happen.
It's so fun to like get to know people that have the same passion as you. And
True.
so yeah, I'm here for it.
And Gustav, I can't get through an interview with you without mentioning hats.
Sorry.
It's got to be done. Got to be said. Talk us about you and the hats.
It's a long story. When I was 5, no, I'm kidding.
He's 42 now, remember?
No, I think it just started off really a bit, I guess not so special, but I was touring with Hurricanes Love Affair, a band I was a part of for 6 years. And we had to do a lot of like festivals, which mean we go straight from a plane onto the club or a festival. And, when you're sleeping against the window and there's saliva coming down your chin, you don't have the best hair day in those moments. And I just thought a hat is the perfect accessory to clear up all those bad hair days. And it just gradually turned into a real obsession. So now I have like a big hat collection. I just think it jazzes up outfits. It's just so easy and I love coordinating. I'm just a big fashionista and I love my accessories and my fashion. So hats are just another way of me to express myself.
How many do you have?
We're getting near to 50. My husband is really getting very pissed off with me because we have no room in the house left to put in any hats. So
you need a special hat cupboard.
Yeah, I'm hoping, to maybe if I win Eurovision, I'll have some money to get a new closet or something.
and just picking up on the comment earlier about collaborations and working with other artists, you've obviously worked with a number of acts in your musical career so far. Are there any, if you could pick an ideal artist to collaborate with, who would it be?
Oh my God! Did you mean someone I worked with before, or you mean something just out of the blue?
Yeah.
God, there's so many. I'll say I've always been a huge fan of Annie Lennox from Eurythmics, and I know, this is someone I would love to collaborate with. But I think so many actually, too many to mention. Yeah. Sorry, I can't give you a very inspirational answer for this.
Annie Lennox is a good answer. And finally, Andrew, again, question for you about kind of life after Eurovision. What's the kind of the next step for you? What are the plans?
Yeah, so I just want to live my best life in music. This is my passion. This is what I love. This is everything I've always wanted since I was 5 years old. Literally. And, it's just crazy to be here now. So it's crazy to watch Eurovision every year and see what happens to artists post-Eurovision. And there's so much to be excited for in the future. So I'm definitely going to let life take me where I am meant to go. But I'm going to work hard too and release music, perform. I want to travel. I want to meet as many people as I possibly can. And one day when I'm a grandfather, I want to have many stories to tell my grandchildren.
This is a very good story to tell the grandchildren.
That's a memorable one. So I think we've got 5 minutes or so if we do have any questions from the audience. I think Simon's got the microphone or Nathan's got a microphone. So we've got one question here down in the front row.
Hey, it's DJ from the Dutch Ding a Dong podcast. My question's for Gustav. Have you been able to process the fact that your song has basically become, I think, the anthem for all the contestants during the pre-parties where everyone is singing it? And how did that happen? What is that story?
Well, there was no bribe involved, to be very clear. It's wonderful, I have to say. But I have no explanation other than it's a beautiful thing. And I think I'm going to have to start splitting royalties at this point with some of the acts because they're just taking it way too far now. But no, honestly, I think it's beautiful and it's lovely that it becomes an anthem of, the song was made to make you feel like you're supported. And I think we're all going through the same pressure cooker here. So it's nice that we maybe have an anthem that makes us feel like we can all understand the experience from the same perspective. And I think that's why maybe the song is doing what it's doing, but it's truly an honor, honestly.
And can we expect a 10-minute version in the future with all the artists of this year maybe on it?
Oh my God, that's a great idea. Yes, I'm on it. I'll talk to some people, starting with you.
No, your song is an anthem.
Oh.
I love it.
It's all because of you.
Well, thank you. Oh.
Question from Alistair from Australian Radio at the back.
Hi. First, a message from the live stream for Gustav. This is from Ruth in Canberra, and she says, "I love you." Just thought I'd pass that on.
Oh, but I love her too. Oh, that's so sweet.
But my question is for Diljá. You mentioned Power Fit or your fitness program. What changed for you when you got into that fitness program?
Okay, I'm gonna just ask completely honestly. I felt like there was a gap in my life that I needed to fill. Like, it was the first time I wasn't in school. I didn't have a job. I was trying my best to become like a professional singer, but I felt like there was always something missing. And I was a gymnast in the past, but then I injured my knee. And then when I tried CrossFit, I just like gave it a try, and I just like felt like this is what I needed. So it has become obsession. I love it. It just does everything for me mentally and physically. Recommend. Try it. Thank you for the question.
Any other questions for our second panel today? If not, we can wrap it up there. But thank you so much to Gustav, to Andrew Lambrou, and to Diljá. Enjoy the rest of your experience in Liverpool, and hopefully we'll see you at Euro Club. And thanks once again. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
And as ever, there'll be time for one-to-ones next door or in the room next behind if needed. And we'll be back just after 3 o'clock for the final panel. Okay, I think we are ready to get started for our final panel discussion. As ever, there'll be time for meet and greets with individual artists afterwards. So, for our final three on stage, first of all, would you please welcome, representing Greece, Victor Vernikos. Hi.
Where do I sit?
Wherever you want. Anyone with a microphone.
I sit over here, nice and close.
Excellent. Hi. Hi.
Nice to meet you. Hi.
Likewise. And up next, representing Georgia, please welcome Iru. And last but not least, representing Australia, please welcome to the stage, Voyager. Welcome.
Oh, no.
Yeah, feel free to sit there. It's fine.
Yes, yes.
So, welcome everyone. Great to see you. Welcome to Euro Club.
Hi.
Thank you.
So we'll do a quick round of questions with each of you. Then there'll be a chance for a couple of questions from the audience, and then you'll be let loose on the meet and greets and the individual press. So I'll start with the same question that I've been asking everyone just to kick things off. But first of all, Victor, how's your experience been in Liverpool so far?
It's been absolutely amazing. After the first day that we came here, started walking around Liverpool, just seeing how well decorated everything is. I mean, the streets look like the Olympic Games have come here, and it is the Olympic Games of music, basically. Yeah, totally love it. Everybody's been treating us great.
And you've done your first rehearsal now. How was that?
It was absolutely amazing. I can't wait for the changes as well, because I'm just a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm trying not to say too much and also not get too excited by myself. But it's overwhelmingly amazing. I can't wait for everybody to see what we've got in store. There's so many surprises coming, and I think people will truly like what we've been working really hard for.
Exciting stuff. And as the youngest representative in the contest this year, does that give any extra pressure or maybe a bit less pressure?
I don't think of it that way. I mean, I hope to inspire people with the fact that I'm quite young. Just like Iru's done over here when she was about 14. Well, no, 11.
Now it's 11.
You're 11. Sorry, my bad. Just told me backstage. I wrote my song at 14. That's why I keep thinking 14. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think it's a source of inspiration, and hopefully I impress people enough and give a good impression. I mean, to inspire people. But yeah, pressure-wise, I don't think of it. I just think of myself as an artist come here to do his job and entertain.
And what's that feeling like when you walk out onto the stage for the first time? Obviously, you'd have been doing all the planning and all the rehearsals over the last few weeks and last few months. But then when you, first of all, get into the arena and onto that stage, talk us through that feeling.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than I'd imagined. Not that I thought any less of Eurovision. I mean, I thought the world of it, but it's just come out to be so much more as well. I'm really happy that I have the space enough on stage to just express the emotions I have inside me and just really bring out my energy into the audience. And that's all I truly want to do. It's amazing here.
Great. Well, we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So going to Ira now, to Georgia. Welcome. And again, how are you enjoying your Liverpool experience so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I love the city so much. It's so beautiful. And I love the houses that they're like all identical. They're so cute.
And done the first rehearsal now. Happy with how everything went?
Oh, when I tell you, I had flashbacks from Junior Eurovision. It was so emotional to me, like standing there and seeing everything for the first time, because we've been imagining it in our heads, you know, how it's going to look like all together. And when I saw everything, it was surreal. It was amazing.
You mentioned Junior Eurovision because, you know, you're a veteran. You're a Eurovision winner, of course, from Junior Eurovision in 2011, I think it was.
Yes, it was 2011.
What have you been doing since then? How did that
I grew up.
condense into 2 minutes, that journey from Junior Eurovision winner to the Eurovision stage in Liverpool?
So I've been actually entering some other competitions outside of Georgia. And then I actually started working on my solo album as well. But then Eurovision happened, you know, and so I had to put a pause on it. But like, I really hope that after Eurovision, I can put more music out.
And do you think, having had that experience, yes, it was many years ago now, but having won Junior Eurovision, that kind of gives you a bit of a feeling for what being on that Eurovision stage is like?
Definitely, like getting this chance to experience everything at a young age, because Eurovision is very unique and very packed, you know, like everything's like you're on the schedule, everything's happening so fast. And I'm so glad that I got to experience this at a young age, because now I kind of got used to how it was. And now that I'm here, it's like helping me, you know, I actually grew up and just developed as a singer way more.
And I think you've got the same songwriter or co-writer for your song this year as you had back with Junior Eurovision.
Diljá,
How's that been as a collaboration?
We've actually been working together for like almost 10 years, like since Eurovision happened. He's my producer now, and so it's very comfortable working with him because he's he's a genius, and he's also my friend. Like, so he knows me so well, and we had such a little time to write the song and everything, like just 2-3 weeks to film everything, music video and stuff. So like he being super amazing helped me so much to put out this music.
Great. Well, thank you. And again, we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Last but not least, we move to Australia and Voyager. Great to see you here in Liverpool. For those who don't know all of your names individually, and sure, as hardcore fans you must do, please introduce yourselves.
My name's Voyager Australia. And my name is also Voyager Australia, otherwise known as Danny. Yeah, sorry, I'm Alex.
Hello, I'm Ash. I play drums.
I'm Simone and I play guitar.
And I'm Scott and I also play guitar.
And we feel very old compared to these extreme here. So, you know, I want ageism not to be a thing, but I feel like these overachievers over here, I mean, that's amazing stuff, really, I have to say.
And that is one of the diversity of Eurovision. There are people from all ages representing. And, you know, joking apart, do you think, you know, there are things you learn from each other as performers?
Also, a big shout out to the bald community. We have 2 proud members of the community.
Come on. Contrary to popular belief, we are not the same person. Scott and I.
We get this a lot.
A $5 penalty, yes, that's right. I was just hearing you talk about, you know, you being 16 years old, playing Eurovision, and thinking about the gigs I was playing when I was 16 years old.
Very different.
Shitty little pub in Australia. And actually probably shouldn't have been there because it's over 18s and I had to hide in the toilet for 2 hours before coming out and playing the show. Yeah. So
What a journey.
I know, right? You know what? Made it here in the end, didn't I?
Do you know what, mate? I respect playing in shitty pubs more than just going to Eurovision. That shows a lot of grit and a lot of bravery and a lot of showing that you love what you do. I mean, going to pub and playing for no one. I mean, I used to busk as well, to go out and just play. When I was crap, people didn't stop, and even when you're good, sometimes they don't stop. People got places to go. but that's just doing what you love and keeping going for it forever is what matters.
And,
so I
and a
respect
gig's a gig, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Music's
I don't think
music.
the effort changes when no matter what stage you're on.
Exactly.
It's the beauty of it.
Exactly. We give the same energy we do when we're just consumed by the music at home in my bedroom or on stage. The point is to take that bedroom energy onto the stage. Yeah. For sure.
Keep that same energy, right?
Exactly.
That's what the kids say.
And when you're performing on the stage to thousands in the audience, potentially millions watching on TV, and you're thinking back to the shitty little pubs that you played in the past, it's a part of a journey. How do you kind of
Hell yeah. That's actually what I love most about music. On our last tour, when we finished up in Europe last year, we played 1,500 people, this awesome festival in Germany. And then the following weekend, Ash and I were playing at a little Irish pub to like 20 people. And we just kind of looked over each other and we're like, this is so bizarre. But you know what? Like, we're still playing music and it's almost beautiful in a way. So you can play to thousands of people and then still derive the same amount of enjoyment almost on smaller stages playing music. But it's still the privilege of playing music. And that's something that, when we're older than we are now and we're, maybe more bald, I don't know if that's possible. But we're sitting, we can say, yeah, we played all these little small shows. That's what makes Eurovision so special, and nothing can take that away from us. That's the experience of being on that stage is so special.
I should qualify that the enjoyment is generally requires a minimum of 10 people in the audience. Anything under that is not enjoyable.
It's a very frontman answer. As the bass player, I'll take what I can get. All right. So one person, a mirror, would be fine by me.
It's been a bit of a Eurovision Australia Decide reunion this year, of course. We had Andrew Lambry on the stage earlier. Just talk us through how that happened, how you went from taking part last year in the national final to now being selected to represent Australia this year.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a natural progression, I guess. We won the hearts of the people in Australia, which was amazing, as a electro power pop progressive metal band to garner so much love from the audience. I thought was actually genuinely a surprise for us. And then I guess internal selection just went, nah, let's give these guys a red hot go this year, I reckon. So I think they made the right choice.
Definitely.
Can we get a hell yeah?
So epic power pop progressive metal. Talk us through that description. What does that mean?
I don't think we've got enough time, to be honest.
In 2
question.
minutes, if we can have a definition.
Well, I think we like to kind of consider our music as pop on top, but progressive underneath. So there's something accessible for the general music listener, but if you want to delve a little deeper, there's something more there to kind of really dig your teeth into. So we're predominantly a progressive metal band, so we love our complex music, but we also love a good hook. So it's really just about trying to combine those two things together into something that's fun, heavy, melodic, digestible, but interesting underneath all that. Yeah.
And what can we expect from you on stage in the arena?
High energy and intensity. We like to perform. That's what I would say we excel at, and we love performing with each other. So yeah, we just want to bring that unity of the five of us together on stage for everyone, and I hope everyone sees that.
And was the song written with Eurovision in mind?
Yes, it was. It was Danny came in with this very interesting electro, and we went, "Yep, this is something special."
Yeah, we heard that intro and it was instantly engaging, and yeah, it all started from that. But we just kind of hung out in a room for a couple of months, weeks on end, just continued to work away on the song and develop it for the Eurovision stage specifically. So I feel like it's almost kind of cinematic in the way we've tried to craft it.
Yeah, we wanted to think about the staging as a big element of it, because obviously it's not just about the song, it's about how you make that explode on a huge stage with millions of people watching. How do we make that as fun, as crazy as we can possibly make it, whilst all compacted into a tight 3-minute little package?
And I think that's one of the challenges coming from the live music circuit. You know, we've done lots of world tours and albums and things like that, playing to the audience, and you want to please the audience, and all of a sudden the shift is you've got to please the cameras as well. So we don't want to neglect the audience, but we also want to make sure that we're targeting the people in there. So it's been a bit of a paradigm shift for us, but it's fun. I think we do all right in balancing, grabbing that energy and then thrusting it into the cameras.
And
Yes, I agree.
what he said. And you've done quite a bit of the Eurovision pre-party circuit over the last few months. That's obviously been a real important part of the Eurovision season now. How is that as performers for road testing the song, getting to know the other artists taking part?
It's an amazing exercise in discipline. We usually have an hour or 70 minutes to perform our show. And I usually have more than 1 minute to set up a drum kit. So the pre-parties were a challenge, a test, and I think we did okay. Yeah,
absolutely.
We had to learn how to channel our excited energy in a way that was going to work and not make us self-combust in 3 minutes.
We were just so excited. We'd been talking about music and talking about our song for such a long time, and all of a sudden it's like, bang, you get to go on stage. And it's like, you're just so excited to be there. I mean, you guys know what it's like, you did that moment before when it's just like, oh my God, here it is. And then it's all over, unfortunately. But to sort of, I guess, rein in that excitement. I mean, I punched the stage too hard. I was, had knuckles bleeding, which is very rock and roll. But I think we had to learn over the pre-parties to just rein it in a little bit.
I'm a little bit frustrated that he expended his blood for the pre-party rather than the Eurovision stage.
I'm quite happy to repeat it, if you like. Bruised knuckles are just a thing that I do now.
We'll talk later about this.
Great. Well, thanks once again, and all the very best here in Liverpool to Voyager. Got a couple of questions from the audience. I just want to ask our younger representatives what you've got planned next after Eurovision. What's kind of next on your career path? So, Victor, what are your immediate plans?
I mean, I write music every single day. I'm looking forward to releasing more music and just keep going. Music is my life. It's always going to be. So I hope people love the new music I'm going to be releasing.
And are there any artists that you'd like to do collaborations with? Have you got anything in mind?
Everyone. I'm just a music lover. I enjoy so many types of music, and I can't wait to get my hands on new creations.
And Ira, what about you? What's next for you after Eurovision?
Well, I'm planning to put out more music and just show people, like my supporters, everything that I can do, and I hope they enjoy it.
Brilliant. Well, thanks to all of you. We have a couple of questions, I think, from the audience. One here at the front, first of all.
Hey guys, it's GJ from OutTV. Eurovision is constantly evolving, and also the perception of it. I think all of your songs distinctively add something musically to it this year, and I'm wondering what for you is the key ingredient in 2023 for a good Eurovision song, or does that even still exist?
Who goes first? You pick. Yes.
I'll go with you first.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm a big believer in the fact that just honesty through songwriting is what comes across to listeners. So I think when you write a song honestly, I feel like they can feel the genuinity of it all, and your energy really passes through to the crowd. The emotion of the song always passes through to the crowd. So genuinity and honesty is always number one for me. Thanks, man.
Okay, I'm gonna go next. I feel like Eurovision, it's like it has so much diversity, and people are singing from their hearts and in their own unique way. So I don't think there's like any right or wrong way to create music. It's just like this whole process is very interesting, and it's filled with so much talent. So every year we get to see so many talented performers. So I feel like. Yeah, just talent and to show like yourself, and that's it. Like you're gonna do amazing.
Yeah, but that's a pretty good answer. Yeah, I'd have to say the same. It's like you'll never know the winning ingredient, and I don't think anyone really knows it until the actual night. So it's important that you just do things with authenticity and integrity, and your intent is pure and true to yourself. And then.
I think pyrotechnics help as well.
Yeah.
Some explosions and fireworks. Yeah, maybe a car.
I would say a mountaintop guitar solo duel would be quite helpful generally.
Shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads.
Great hair.
Sequin. Did someone say grey hair?
Yeah.
How dare you?
That is very insulting.
How dare you say hair?
We're leaving.
Wigs exist, guys. Come on. Can someone help me off the stage, please?
As compensation, I would like that fabulous jacket.
Yeah, that's a good jacket. I don't think you can predict what will win Eurovision, but you need something catchy, you need something dramatic, you need something that's got soul and authenticity 100%. If you're not authentic, people see right through that. And I think people really value that. So what it is in terms of the musical structure, we don't know, because there's been crazy winners that would have never been expected. But I think if you've got a few of those ingredients, I think that's what Eurovision is. And Eurovision, you're right, has become much more open, much more diverse. Look how many, like this metal bands, that was probably 10, 15 years ago, that was not really, before Lordi, that wasn't really a thing. So I think Eurovision has really widened its spectrum, and it's so wonderful to see so many different genres. And people who poo-poo Eurovision, they should just really get on board and watch it,
Definitely. Question at the back there.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile Australia. We know you've received a lot of support from the West Australian government, and everyone's heard of Sydney and the Opera House in the east. But how is Western Australia different?
The sun sets over the water. That's magical. That's something you can only get over in Perth.
Are there more spiders?
Are there what?
Oh, more spiders?
I have to kill redbacks.
No, there's less spiders. Sydney has funnel webs. We don't have those. We just have redback spiders.
We have redbacks, which are pretty bad.
Yeah, we have reached a truce with the spiders. We leave them alone, leave us alone. It's okay.
But, I mean, WA is about 3,000 kilometres away from Sydney. So for you guys, that's Sydney, that's WA right there. And it's just such a vastly expansive state. I think you can fit Germany into it, like, I think it was 8 or 16 times. Anyway, many, many times. And we have such wonderful natural habitats, and the great outdoors, as we call it, is so magical. So to have Tourism WA and have the WA government on board to fly us to some of these places and show us some of these places and really become ambassadors for not only Australia, but for Western Australia has been absolutely magical.
For sure. I think the other thing is our music scene in Western Australia is really special, just because it's sort of competitive in its own world, because if we don't create the art in our own state, then we have nothing. Because we are very much overlooked, not only within Australia, but globally, yet we produce, in my humble opinion, as biased as it is, some of the best music in the country. And so, I feel that there's this really healthy competition within our state where, you have to be producing really good music in order to exist even in the local scene. So, yeah, I think we produce some incredible music in Australia. WA specifically.
That's Western Australia. WESTER.
Add a West in front of that. That's what I meant to say.
Walking on a dream.
Any other questions? Yeah, one more from the back. Oh.
Hi, I have a question from an online viewer from Ruth in Canberra, where it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And she wants to know a little more about the car you have on stage, about the license plate. Is the rego paid in British English? Is it licensed and insured? And will we see you driving around Liverpool?
Is the rego paid? I'd have to check. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the sticker.
We may not be allowed back in.
Yeah, it might be problematic. If you see the police rocking up on stage going, sorry, mate, you can't get in this one. The car is an interesting, I guess, tidbit of Voyager history. We've used it. I own a car that's exactly the same back home. And so we needed a vehicle for the song to sort of take us on a journey through the chaos of the city and sort of out to the great expanse of freedom. And we thought, what vehicle should we use? Well, I know. How about an iconic 80s car like the Toyota MR2 AW11 from 1988, which I own. And we thought, well, how do we get that onto the stage in Liverpool? It was a slight logistical nightmare, but there it is. And that's how the car ended up. And it's just got this beautiful sort of 80s synth wave that's unmistakably 80s, and that kind of tells the story, tells the scene, and sets the scene for us. I'm a huge lover of 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s moderately interesting vehicles, of which the MR2 is one of them. It's no Ferrari, but it looks damn good. I can talk cars all night if you want. My favourite Aston Martin is... No, I'm just joking.
Final minute for any final questions. Yeah, we've got one here at the front.
Hello, everyone. I'm Melanie Otto of ESC United, and I think you all are amazing artists. And that's why I'm wondering, what was something that you learned early in your career that made you the artist that you are today?
Who goes first?
Who you want?
You go first this time.
Okay, one thing. It's just, I think I learned how to work as a team, because the first experience I had, like the major experience, was with my group called Candy. And it was such an experience, like interesting experience. And that taught me to work with with the group, with team. And it helps me with my team, my delegation right now, because you have to just like cooperate and just, be with the team. So yeah, that's what I actually learned.
Cool.
Teamwork.
Madam, that's me. Well, I don't know if there's an early stage in my career,
It is.
but
Definitely.
that's why I needed a second to think about it. But yeah, cool. No. No.
Ask that same question in 20 years.
He's here. He's here right now, so he's clearly learned something. Right?
No,
You made it to Eurovision, so you did something good.
I'll tell you two things. The first thing, my first philosophy for everything is just the more you do, the better you get. Which I learned from an interview on Ed Sheeran, by the way, and it's worked out for me. Just I write music every day and just keep sharpening my pen. I think that the more you do in anything, the more you get, because the better you get, because the more experience you have. I'm just a big believer in experience, and the thing I'm learning right now, which I'm not good at because I like working a lot, and just I don't have any patience. I just want to keep doing, because I have so much love for music. I just want to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep pushing and doing it all for the fans and for myself, but because I love it. I need to learn to. My beautiful parents are there, teaching me to take care of myself, and everybody around me and our whole team is teaching me to take care of myself and not overwork myself, because sometime at some point your body's gonna take back from you. So yeah, I guess that's it. Cool.
Yeah. And you guys?
I guess my initial thought is learning to love music above everything else. The second would be learn to decide who you want to be in a band with and who you don't want to be in a band with, because geez.
You mean like Danny?
Doing anything with these people, yuck. I said that from a purely positive standpoint, by the way. But, I mean, sometimes we think we've been in some awful situations, and some really, really hard times on the road, some beautifully amazing times as well. And I couldn't imagine doing it with anyone else other than these guys. We just happened to fit together in a really kind of eerily special way. And I wouldn't want to, this is too soppy really, but I wouldn't want to do this journey with anyone else, because it wouldn't be nearly as special. So if you're feuding with people in your team, you need to find a way to work that out. And also what we've learned that content creation is the new album.
Film
pretty much-
everything.
Yeah, maybe that's the biggest learning curve is like fitting 5 people into a portrait frame. Yeah, when the iPhone first came out, it was all about horizontal and landscape pictures, and I thought that's great. That's the smart way to go. That's all changed. It's
good. I think
so for the solo
It's
artist,
called social media now.
I know, right? But
We spent
you try fitting 5.
We spent many thousands of dollars on the last album. We should have spent a couple of $100 on a phone.
I
That's
know.
all we needed to do.
There's this new thing that's really revolutionized. It's called the internet. It's called the internet. Have you guys heard of that? Yeah, it's pretty amazing. No, the thing that I just want to say is the 80s are dead. The rock and roll lifestyle of the 80s, where you just do an album and then you get flown on a private plane somewhere, that's never going to happen. You've got to relentlessly do content. You've got to relentlessly sell yourself, and that's a huge shift, I think. Because when we were growing up, okay, we're not that old.
Back in the day.
But it was like this, this dream of Bon Jovi and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, that's just not a thing anymore. And you have to work hard in ways that you would never imagine. You've got to make your music work for you. What? Did you have anything smart to say?
Not something I care to repeat.
There's a story there, I'm sure.
Infighting is really big in Voyager.
I guess
I'd like to announce my departure from Voyager.
And on that note,
Thanks,
I was just going to add that being as agreeable as possible is very helpful. So you want to try and find a positive outcome to any sort of situation you might find yourself in. In the music industry, you find yourself in an endless number of negative and weird and messed up situations, and the worst thing to do is just explode in a fury of anger. As much as that's what you might want to do, it's not useful.
So repress feelings is what you're saying.
Repress your emotions entirely and become a shell of a human being. No,
or just try wearing a hat like Gustav.
If you just put on the hat, everything becomes better.
My dad told me when you repress your emotions, when my dad went to, I think it was Shanghai, he was living there, he was repressing his emotions because he was stressful in work. That's how he lost his hair. Is that why you're bald?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent question.
Probably.
This guy's good.
Sit down, son.
He's half my age.
Sorry.
Now let me tell you a thing or two, Sonny Jim.
You win.
All
You
right.
win.
Be agreeable. Just find a good solution to every problem.
So what you're trying to say is don't let the redhead handle anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't let the people with hair handle anything. Just leave it up to us bald boys, okay?
The BBs.
Well, on that note, well, thank you so much. That took a turn. Thank you to Victor. Thank you to Erie. Thank you to Voyager. Thank you so much. All the very best for your time in Liverpool. There'll be chance for meet and greets afterwards with individual members of the press. But thanks once again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a
Thanks, guys.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.